Nikki Haley is throwing a party. For who? Well, for the countries that didn't vote for the president's new Jerusalem policy. 128 countries voted in favor of condemning our move to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. As for everyone else, according to Michelle Nichols, the Reuters UN bureau chief, she tweeted this: the 8 countries who voted no with the US on the UN General Assembly Jerusalem resolution, the 35 who abstained, and the 21 who did not cast a vote have been invited to a reception by Nikki Haley as a thank you for friendship to the United States. Here is a screen cap of the actual literal save the date. The Honorable Nikki Haley, Permanent Representative United States Mission to the United Nations, invites you to a reception to thank you for your friendship on January 3rd. So a formal invitation is to follow. I just think this is so weird that there's like a new friendship meeting that they're throwing for people who sided with us, but not just, there's only 8 people who voted with us on this. There were people who abstained, and to be fair, like abstentions from these votes are typically like, they are not just like, I don't care, they are, I abstain for reasons, but also people that just weren't there get to come to this new world disorder party.
Well, so it's a mixed bag. Yesterday we told you Canada felt like they had to vote against the US because Trump had gone so over the top that they would seem like his puppet if they voted with the US after the threats. It would seem like they caved to his threats. So they actually switched their vote. So it was counterproductive in that sense. But I would imagine that a lot of these countries who either abstained or did not cast a vote wanted to get invited to the party. And they don't care about the hors d'oeuvres at that party. But the party they're talking about is financial aid that the US gives.
Yeah.
So a lot of them were tiny little islands. Some were smaller countries in Africa. They desperately need the assistance. So Trump was able to bully some of the weakest countries in the world. I hope he's proud.
It's great, and at this party you will need to wear a name tag because some people may not have heard of these countries. I mean, there's like Israel, I can count them right now. Israel, Guatemala, Marshall Islands, Micronesia, Nauru, Palau, Togo, and the US.
Some of those countries are so small they have micro in the name.
But that's what it is. And then everyone gets, and then there's plenty that abstained, and for various reasons, Mexico and Canada among them. But a lot of countries that are our friends voted against us, and they voted to come down on us for our decision to do that.
The whole thing with this particular UN posture that we've struck, though, is kind of a weird mix of the bully, which is the natural Trump move. Hey, we're going to get you. We're going to pull our money, and that entire posture, which is consistent with Donald Trump. And then, as Cenk and Brett both say, this sort of inducing your help or your support, I mean, again, from these very small nations, by bribing you, which is really the American way. And in truth, that's really the way we've done a lot of foreign policy and pursued a lot of foreign policy in this country for decades, maybe since, for the last century. So it's the brutality, it's kind of the tough talk, bully on the street part of this that has been inconsistent with, and certainly the party is just crazy, you're right. I mean, it's like exotic drinks and pass-arounds, for the handful of
It's just so weird.
Countries that have supported.
Like seldom does something happen, my reaction is, what a weird moment, what a weird thing to do. And really what it does is the president drew a line in the sand, is like, and it vibes with some people to say, like, why are we paying for the United Nations if they don't really give us anything? If people in it are going against us. And I totally get that is a good message, it's an effective message. But it's just so weird to then have people afterwards who say, all right, I'm calling your bluff. Then that's just like, someone open for China to come in and be like, you need a railroad, you need infrastructure, you need us to invest in your country. And it'll take you 40, 50 years to realize how you got screwed by that. But in the meantime, we're paying for stuff for you. And then Russia, everyone gets to identify who it is that's kind of, on the chopping block, or at least up for grabs.
And look, there's logical, strategic reasons for why you would want to give money and not give money, et cetera. So for example, we give a decent amount of money to the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank. Number one, because they're not Hamas and they're not, they keep the West Bank way more under control than they do Gaza Strip. Number two, if they don't, they go, well, I could take away those hundreds of millions of dollars and people panic. So the largest recipient of US aid is Israel, but number two is Egypt. The reason is they did the peace deal, and part of the peace deal is, hey, you're gonna get a lot of money, Egypt, for all these decades. And guess what? They've had peace. So, and then to Brett's point about, hey, what Trump always says, well, what's the UN doing for us anyway? Yesterday, Nikki Haley went up and said, I don't know why Israel tolerates the UN. What has the UN ever done for Israel? Founded it? Right. If you want to get the whole Young Turks show every single day, become a member, tytnetwork.com/join. And once you do, you'll be saying,
I'm like a smart person.
Or you might say,
I think it's weird.
Or you might say,
oops.
No, that won't be that one. It won't be that one. It'll be great, trust me. tytnetwork.com/join.